Right. We are back with Numenera. Right. I think you guys did point out that I didn't quite remember what happened last time, so you reminded me. Just before we left off, you guys approached the automatons by the entrance to the temple, who had originally told you to go talk to Sentinel, which, spoiler alert, you killed it.
We did talk to him.
Yeah, well, you did, but he identified you rightly as hostile. And when you approach back around, the automaton tried to talk to you, and EC tried to tell him that you had seen Sentinel and been allowed through, I think, and you got a natural 1 on your persuasion, which included a GM intrusion, which immediately goes into combat as the automaton's needles slide out their wrists. So, you guys know what to do.
We just hide behind Artoria.
Yep, I meant roll initiative.
That is our primary combat strategy, yes.
Oh, wow.
We are just rocking the initiative.
And because they're level 3, has anyone actually got anything trained in initiative?
No.
Nope.
No.
Just so you can know, that is a thing you can get. Because it would have actually, if in this kind of situation, if you were trained in initiative, you would have gone first. But now, because they're level 3, they go first. So, the one you had originally spoken to, which seemed friendly, goes, "Sorry, friends," as he moves up. And the needles in his wrist come hurtling out towards Artoria. Artoria, we established this last week. You need to roll. It's a difficulty 1 for you. So 2 speed rolls. You can. Alright, you bring your shield up, and then quickly dodge out the way of another as they hit the wall. EC, the one in front of you moves up and it doesn't use its needles but just goes to slam his fists clean into you.
Okay, that's
I need a speed roll, difficulty 3.
I'm very much confident.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah, fuck me.
And the fist hits you clean in the gut for 3 damage to your might pool.
That is fine.
And can you make another one as its other fist comes to swing round?
It has 2 fists?
Oh, well, you know.
I don't think that's fair.
Alright, you'll pass this one. He's used to a good fisting. This one misses and hits the wall beside you, letting out a cloud of dust. Okay,
I'm just going to be over here.
Yeah. That one moves there. Has to use his full turn. Has to move there. Alright, Artoria, it is your go.
There's like a perfect little Artoria space right in here.
Yeah, so you just move in.
Yep. And I will dodge.
Just
different game.
Every D&D character Chris has.
No, I'm going to spend an XP to do a glaive feature.
Ooh.
Which is the perfect strike, so I can make an attack against 3 enemies.
Oh, heck. Alright, you spend an experience point, and I'm assuming you make attacks against all 3 individually?
Yeah, so I am trained. It's difficulty 3.
It's down to 2. Oh, down to 1.
And let's go. So, first guy. Yep.
Alright. So do you want to go for the extra damage?
Yeah.
How much damage does your greatsword normally do?
7.
Yeah, he did. Is that the one that was all happy, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Alright, so you just...
Hello, friends.
Yeah, you just cleave into the back of his head after he's fired his needles, and he just clumps with a... onto the floor, and he goes, "Goodbye."
Next guy.
Yep. That's a success.
So that's 7, and I will spend 2 speed to do quick death for 11 damage total.
Jesus. Alright, and then this next one, you draw your greatsword out in a wide arc and cut the head off of it. Doesn't even make a sound, just kind of rolls.
And then final one.
Alright, final.
That's just 7 damage for him.
Oh man, with his armor. Right, so this one is a cleave into his torso. There's a spark that comes out of it, like a blue spark, runs down your blade, and there's this like shock of lightning up it, but then it kind of like disperses to the ground. Alright, Arturo, I'm assuming that's your turn.
That is my turn.
Easy.
I would like to just kick him into his robotic junk. I know it's not gonna do anything, but I just want to do it.
Difficulty 3, make a might roll. Oh no, it's difficulty 2, because it's technically your foot. It's a light weapon.
Perfect. Nope.
Dong! Ah! You just kind of like hurt your foot. Not enough to do damage, but enough for you to kind of like squeal and jump around holding it.
I, on one leg, jump past Verse and duck behind him.
Okay. And now Verz, your turn.
Yeah, I will say, friends, no more. No more indeed. Point my staff at him and shoot.
Alright, cool. This is the one that just does 4 damage, right?
Yep.
Oh, anyway, just kind of like is dispersed by his bronze chest plate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's just looks down at it, looks up at you. Is there anything else with us?
Artoria?
Right, it's their turn. So this one steps forward, and Verz, can you make 2 speed rolls? Difficulty 9. 9? Difficulty 3.
Because
Holy shit.
Like, roll a 27 on a d20, I date.
Difficulty 3 times 2, yeah?
Ooh. Alright, so the first blow goes wide, and you kind of like just push it into the wall out of the way in sheer panic, but the next one finds your ribs, and that's going to hurt. It does 3 damage to your might ball. If you have armor, remember to minus it.
Yep, I will do.
Right. That leads to the other one, Artoria. It brings out the needles, so they're like hanging out, and then goes for 2 stabs towards you. 2 speed rolls, please.
I'm not even going to dodge that.
Really?
Yeah, he only does 3 damage. I've got 3 armor.
Oh, fuck you.
Meta gaming.
You still need to roll it, just to see if you roll a GM intrusion. Alright. Oh, and then on the second one, you manage to ricochet the needle and it just snaps, shatters, goes, and then hits the sphere in the middle, which, by the way, is no longer showing images of countryside and land and stuff like that. Right. Arturo.
That was your first mistake.
That is what you needed. So it's a bit of a feeble blow, but it strikes nevertheless.
I'm just gonna like push him over with a sword.
How much damage does it do?
7.
You do a lot of damage.
I'm a cleave, it's what I do.
Yeah, and this one just cleaves down his torso, splitting it in half.
And I will move 10 feet up behind this one.
Alrighty.
Just be like,
Easy.
I would like to skate. I would like to go low and skate through Versus' legs and then through the robot's legs and grab both of its legs and just pull them away as I go.
Ooh, I like it. I'm going to give you a little bit of a stunt bonus there. Difficulty 1.
I've tried in roller skates.
Difficulty 1. I'll take that into account. Yeah, so, and then you just pull the thing down and it slips. Its torso just clangs against the ground.
That's perfect. It's on the floor now, so just... Artoria, finish it, yeah?
Well, first of all, it's Verz.
Well, maybe I can. And I'll try and blast it again.
Alright. And this one, would you like to do the extra damage, or...?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so there's a blast, and the energy disperses around its body, and it just... How much damage do you... I guess that's 5, right?
4.
Ah, okay. Even with the +1?
Yep, because
Right.
the other one that you're thinking of is when I use the
Mhm.
special ability of the stuff.
Okay, so what happens now is this creature on its action looks down, looks around, sees its other automatons on the ground, and opens something on its chest, and then rips it out, and then just goes. Beep, beep.
Oh.
You hear a beep, and can everyone make a speed roll?
That's what I was worried about.
as,
What
the,
difficulty?
as the bronze core in its hand, difficulty 3, goes bang.
Self-destruct sequence initiated.
Alright, so as it explodes, emits some sort of force, which is invisible at first, knocks you all back, but you all manage to just kind of like, for example, EC just goes roller skating across the room, puts her hands out, and is able to stabilize herself against the wall. Artoria brings up her shield, and it kind of like pushes against her. However, Vers, you are like knocked off your feet, but hit the ground, and then like your hair goes flies upwards. And as you look back, all that's left is the small bronze booties of the automaton. And cogs and bits and pieces just begin to rain down around you.
Well, that was interesting. What about this orb? Do you think we should leave it?
Well, you're the expert on weird things.
Yes, I suppose. Let me have a look then. I'll go and investigate the orb.
Okay, so you walk up to the orb and look up. It's no longer lit, no longer showing these images that seem to race past, and it's got this lingering light inside.
Yeah, I just want to find out if there's any way I can discern exactly what they were doing.
Okay.
And if it's something that we might want to reverse or...
Right, make me. You can, if you've got Numenera, that helps. It's an intellect roll. Okay, with a 13, you are unable to determine what that does.
Yeah, I remember that I have -2 on the difficulty.
Okay, so it was difficulty 7, which made it difficulty 5.
Ah, so 5, yeah, okay. Fair enough.
And you only need, yeah. Okay, so yeah, this artifact is very powerful, you think, and you can tell by it what it originally did, that it was some sort of spying device, but you cannot pinpoint its purpose.
Okay. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Okie doke. Well, it seems that it's some sort of extravagant looking glass. Question is, why were they working on it, and who for?
But imagine it's the queen they keep mentioning.
Perhaps. But it seems that they were quite protective. Perhaps important. Wonder why it was here so easily accessible.
Well, it was easily accessible when we have Artoria with us, who just murdered 3 of them with like one strike from his sword.
Well, yes, but anyone could have gone in here and thrown some explosive device in.
We should have done that. Can we get explosives?
No.
Can you?
Yes.
Okay.
I just love the no straight away.
There's a door over here.
Yes. Proceed.
Okay, so you walk up to the door, and this one does not lift automatically like the rest did.
First,
Yes?
have a look at that door.
Okay.
Okay, so Vers, you walk up to the door.
Mm-hmm. I want to see if there's a mechanism or some sort to open it with.
Okay, there is no mechanism. Seems rather flat. Like it's got no indents. It's got no way of getting purchase on the door, except for the.
Oh yeah, I
bit of
meant
a
more
lid at the
like
bottom.
button or something.
No
Panel or something somewhere.
No.
Is it crowbar time?
I think so.
When is it not?
Alright, let me try with a crowbar.
All right, so you see there is a little bit of a lip at the bottom and an area that can give a bit of give. So you stick the crowbar in there. Give me that might check.
Difficulty?
3.
I'm trained. I have an effort. Boop.
Oh, especially with an 18, but you just lever the door up, and then Artori quickly get both. You let go of the crowbar, get grip with both your hands underneath, and then go, like you did back at the airship that fell from the sky when you had to lift the automatic door up. You go, ah! You can feel the give it's giving. It wants to shut still. You're holding it up at the moment. And yeah, wrists are beginning to shake.
Just step through. Okay.
Okay, as you step through, the door closes behind you.
Could you? And I was tap.
Yeah, you hear it.
Is,
Hollow funk.
is there a control panel or something at the side of the door?
There is not.
I would like to rip off one of the robot's arms and just slap it against the door to see if that opens it.
Oh, okay. Alright, so yeah, you pick up one of the robot's arms, the dislocated one, and you go, donk, 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 and from the other side, Artori, you just hear a hollow, bonk, bonk, bonk.
Okay, if that doesn't open, I'll just keep the arm anyway.
I'll just try and open the door from this side.
Alright. Alright, I need another mic roll.
Oh, look at that.
And I was actually going to say it's going to be very difficult because you haven't got your crowbar. You just you put one hand underneath, get purchase, lift it up, and lift it up so hard that you just break it. And it just breaks and stays maybe about 5.5 feet up in the air, and you're like, put your hand away, and you just hear like this spark, like an electrical zap, and then the door just shuts down.
I forgot my crowbar. Can you get it from me, please?
And let's just pick it up and be like, yes, here you go.
Thank you.
Nice. So you come to this corridor, and on the walls there are these blinking blue lights, either sides of you, spaced every 10 feet. So there's
Could
only
you open the door?
3 sets. Yeah, he did. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. What you talked about. Boop.
Thank you.
Haha. More doors.
It's like Christmas, Artoria.
Which way? North or south?
Well, let's go north first. We've seen the other side of some of the north, so it would be good to know what's here.
Alright.
Alright, so you walk towards this door and it automatically opens. And Artoria, the first thing you see is an automaton. She stands before what looks like some sort of weird contraption. And she looks kind of like that in the face. She turns, and you see there are tentacles hanging out of her shoulder blades. Maybe 12 or so, and they seem to be undulating in the air, travelling towards this Numenera device that has lightning brimming around the centre. Either side, you see very similar looking guards that you fought before. She turns, and the tentacles disconnect from this contraption. And in a very kind of non-threatening voice, she says, "Who are you? Why are you here?"
Some dickhead locked us in here.
She seems to twitch slightly as her head moves side to side. And then she just stares back at you as these two move slightly forward.
Do you honestly think they can stop me?
She's a queen, Artoria. Be, polite.
Well, you go and deal with the queen now, and I'll just stand here.
Easy moves forward. And does, a little curtsy.
She walks forward towards you, EC, and you see through the shutters of her eyes, there's a kind of light that beams out towards you, like a bluish light. It seems, and everyone sees it kind of travel around you, sideways, up, then back down. She blinks. Oh. And then she says, "ECI Mir."
I see that my reputation precedes me.
And she narrows those shutters of her eye sockets, leans forward and goes, "You belong with us, my child."
Yeah, I was about to mention I was looking to join a royal family. If there's any openings.
I didn't mean that.
What do you mean?
2 minutes, guys.
Yeah, no problem. She says, what you are more like us than you are like them.
Now, as you see, Atoria is actually not a man, she is a woman. I know it's hard to believe sometimes.
A slight smile creeps across her face, and as it does, there's a rustic creak of metal. As if she's forcing that emotion upon herself to seem slightly human. And then she stares straight through you, towards the back, kind of peers round your shoulders so she can actually see Verz and Artoria. And Verz and Artoria can actually just see this bronze head peer around. She looks at you and says, I'm sure the All-Cube would like to meet you.
That sounds interesting.
Not you, her.
Which her now?
You, EC, I mean.
Can I bring Verz?
She thinks on that, ponders for a split second before replying no.
I'll look over and say, what makes her different, more like you?
Do they know?
Yes, they do. Izzy obviously does not know herself.
The Bronze Queen nods. And they are fine with you?
Well, Verz sometimes says he'll throw me down a cliff if I don't shut my face. And Atoria has attempted to do that on multiple occasions.
That sounds more like the humans I am used to.
Human in part, perhaps.
Indeed, in part. He stares at EC.
Now, this is all very awkward. Don't we want to move to like a dinner table or something?
EC, would you like to meet the All-Cube?
Yeah, I mean, sure, I like cubes, and I'm sure the All-Cube is fairly important. But I do want to bring my Verz with me to assess the All-Cube.
You can roll a persuasion check.
I'm skilled at persuasion. Can't meet the All-Cube without my Verz. I'm trying difficulty. I'm gonna edge.
You see there simply something, Liam?
Yep.
Okay.
What difficulty, Leon?
Difficulty 7.
Oh, fuck me, Tender. I'm gonna edge twice.
Okay.
If Verz cared about such things, he'd be very moved.
The moment you try to persuade her, she just shakes her hand in a very human emotion of dismissal.
Fine, I'll meet the cube by myself. I'll tell you later, Verz.
Alright.
Very well.
The rolls aren't with me today.
It's okay, I have a cat.
Does the cat want to meet the cube?
He does.
So, EC.
Oh my fuck, it's a big cube.
I say, as you walk towards the gate and she helps you through, the Bronze Queen just turns back to Verz and Artoria and stares at them. But as you walk through, there is a very large cube in the center of this bigger cube. And as you look around, you realize you're in more cubes that go on forever. It's got all of these kind of powers coursing through it.
Izzy does not understand any of what is going on.
No.
Well, I guess she just moves up the stairs.
Yeah, okay, just so you know, just because they look wood, they're not. They're like made out of this steel kind of railing, and they look precarious as they go over a gap. And as you look down the gap, you just see more cubes going on forever.
Which one is the All-Cube? This is all very confusing.
And a rather mechanical robotic voice echoes around you. We are all the All-Cube. It seems to be multiple voices coming from forever.
I get the name now. It's like a play on words because you're all cubes, so you're all the All-Cube.
Yes.
You wanted to meet me?
Who are you?
I'm Easy. I'm Mir. My friends call me Easy.
And then there's just a silence. You hear what sounds like scratching, like on a wooden floor. Sounds very much like that. And then he comes back with a reply. Are you lost, EC?
Well, we wanted to go elsewhere and, like, screw some people over, but we couldn't find them, and then we ended up with a different person who screwed us over. So I guess I'm sort of lost, but, I mean, either way is fine, really.
You and your friends are lost.
Yes, sure, let's go with that one.
There's silence. They may enter if you wish to go get them.
See, I was asking the one person if I could bring verse, but she was like, no, I can't bring verse, and now you're telling me I can bring verse. I think you have a clear management problem.
No. My servants are cautious.
Okay, I'm gonna go get verse. Just you wait here, do that whole floating cube thing.
Okay, so as you go back through the hole in the pillar, Burs and Artoria see you arrive again in the main room. The Bronze Queen nods and says, "You are back quick."
Oh, the cube was like, I can totally bring my verse with me.
Fairly well. She just lets you all through. I don't know. The thing is, it's hard for Artoria to see if she'd even trust going through a Numenera device as such, but...
Verse, giant floating cube, verse.
Hello, Vers.
Hello.
The cube and I are besties now.
We are besties.
Very well. Do you mind if I browse?
Browse at your leisure.
And I'm just gonna go look around until EC or Artoria reminds me that there's something else to do here except look around.
One thing you guys do notice is the Queen walks behind the cube that's floating maybe about 5 foot off the ground over like the corners of the other cubes. And Vers, like I said, it's just cubes that go, like you're inside cubes, but they're transparent, they just keep going on forever. But it looks like the Bronze Queen has those needles in her arms and in her shoulders as well that come out and attach to the cube. And you see, looks like blue energy running from the cube down to her. And she just stays like that for a while.
Mm-hmm. May I ask, what is the source of your energy?
The ether. Like I said, his voice seems to come from a multitude of directions all at once.
How do you harness it?
It comes naturally. We absorb it.
Fascinating. Can you show me?
And forward, Vers.
I'll step forward.
Okay, so as you step forward, something comes, like a compartment opens in the cube, and you just see something like a snake-like thing emerge. And as its mouth splits into 4 different triangles, very similar to a lamprey's mouth, it moves forward towards your forehead.
Yeah.
Allow
that's
it.
fine. Yeah.
And then as it attaches, you feel a sharp sting. You take 1 damage.
Okay.
And suddenly, but everyone see, well, EC and Notorious see Vers' eyes roll into the back of his head, and inside your mind, Vers, mind explosion, expansion, just seems to go on forever. You see starlight, you see stars dying, supernova, you see planets coming to be. Their rocks smashing together to form spherical shapes over billions of years. You see magma running channels through these planets. Then you see the planets slowly turn blue as they're bombarded by ice comets. And then you see life flourish. The planet becomes green. It expands outwards. And then you see the moon strike into it. You see a wave of fire. And then you just follow a single rock that flies out into the cosmos. Begin hurtling, and it seems like you're following for at least a few minutes, which in this period, in the way you are, you
It's millions of years,
millions, billions, and then eventually gets caught by a distant brown star as it begins to orbit. And as it begins to get closer and closer to your vision, you see that this chunk of rock is very, very cube-like. And then as you enter into it, your vision, it gets even further out, expands further out until there's just 4 cubes, 8, 12, and it just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going and going. And then eventually, you fall to your knees, and you get your vision back. And when you look around, you have the opportunity to do one thing. I will whisper it to you.
Okay. I was very disappointed if it is not to say, I know Kung Fu.
Is everybody kung fu fighting?
Maybe you're too young.
I am. Thank you.
As a player, no, but as a character, yes, so I'll do it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so immediately you gain a little bit of knowledge, okay? First thing you know is the moment you come to, you know the locations of all the gates now in the proximity that will lead to this
Hold on, cut. Let me
this area here, this other realm. And also, when you kind of like think about the nearest gate, you realise something. The nearest gate is near the Golden Sanctum.
Let me just write down note location of all nearby gates to this temple, you mean? Or
Yeah, you can basically, whenever there is a gate nearby, you feel it.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And the nearest one, you realise, is near the Golden Sanctum, where the Convergence is rumoured to be. And now you know the reason for this sphere in the main room. It's to spy on all known locations of the gates.
Okay. I'll say thank you for this knowledge.
I am sorry that I had to sap your strength for you to gain it.
Well, sacrifice must be made.
He nods.
What business do you
Right, he
have
doesn't
with the
nod,
convergence?
He's a cube.
He's a cube, yeah. I was
It rotates
Yeah,
forward.
he just rotates forward with a slight nod. Oh, God.
I know, first how.
Yeah.
And I'll say to him, what business do you have with the convergence?
None. They have sabotaged one of my gates and are using it for their own purposes.
I see. Is there something we can do to reverse that?
Destroy the gate or recover it.
How would one go about recovering a gate?
Well, they do not move. By recover, I simply mean help make it safe again.
Simply remove them from the vicinity? Is that what you mean?
I don't know if you will understand this, but if you reverse engineer one of my gates, you could technically use it as a weapon.
In what sense?
Yeah,
As
what
in-
would that weapon do, and how effectively? Like, just generally asking.
If you reverse engineer one of the ether gates, you let the ether in.
And?
Well, then the ether consumes. And the ether is known to be hungry.
So how hungry is that ether? Like, if I didn't like someone, and I had a gate next to them, and I would do that, is it just that person that would die? Is it that person's house that would, you know?
You see that you feel like there's like a tension in the air. He glows slightly red.
I'm just asking out of interest. Can't a person be interested in science?
Yes.
These people just don't get it.
Calculated destruction from Ethergate at Convergence Golden Sanctum would be 8 solar units.
I get it. That's all I wanted to know.
I look at Verse to see if he understands what the fuck that is.
I assume I do.
You can make an intelligence roll. And the difficulty will be lowered because of your patronage, so difficulty 3.
I'll spend some time to think about it.
Okay. Oh, Chris is missing out on all the good story points.
Yeah, difficulty 6.
Okay, so Buzz, 8 solar units. You think might be the entire
8 light years, yeah?
starscape that you know.
Yeah, solar units like AU, right?
Yeah, you think so. Buzz kind of gets it, but at the same time, that is a phenomenal scale.
Not advisable if you are in the vicinity and unable to resist effects of the ether. Easy.
So we can't use that to wipe out the conversions.
We could.
Bad?
Well, it would wipe out us and everything we know as well.
You know, the cube and you really fit with each other because neither of you tells me everything I want to know on the first attempt.
I answered your question.
That's what yeah. Thank you, Verse. So what, you people just chill here all day looking at your gates and that's all you do?
We tend to the gates. Each gate here, each cube represents a cube that looks after a single world. My patronage is Terra.
I assume that was pronounced Terra, not Terror? Or
Yeah, like you get it.
And this Terra is what?
Your home.
I mean, I'm more the wandering type, I don't really...
and just turn around and be like...
Okay, that's why I have Verse. Verse just gets it. He won't explain it to me, but I'm sure he gets it.
Very well, we will see what we can do to recover the gate.
You feel like there's an acknowledgement from it as its red light turns to a pale blue. There's, I will be forever in your debt. You recover that gate. The other gate on your world is safe.
But this is like a different gate than the gate the spiders are working on.
Terra currently has 9 gates.
The other gate on our world?
Yes.
And then you mentioned 7 more.
They are far from your reach. There's an out of your purview.
I see.
No, I'm easy.
This other gate.
I knew you were gonna do that. I just knew it.
Sorry, I had to at least once.
Of course you did.
This other gate that you mentioned. Perhaps if we know of its location, we can guarantee that it stays as it is.
Perhaps that is a conversation for another time.
I mean, before we leave, we should discuss our rates for gate saving.
There's a silence, and the light on the cube goes a pale white, and then the queen's tentacles detach from the cube, and she turns around and says, "You can have whatever we have." The cube says, "Agreed."
That's sort of... I don't... What do you have?
The queen walks away and comes back through the portal with basically a ton of junk.
Does EC know that is a ton of junk?
Yeah, it looks like bits and bobs. There's some shins. You think that if you look around, you might be able to find some oddities and stuff inside. You're not quite sure.
But are we taking that junk? Is this a good deal?
The assistance of your kind would be more valuable to us, I feel.
How about this? And a compartment opens up on the cube, and a smaller cube with legs and arms walks out and begins to walk towards you.
How small? Like, is it like Rubik's Cube size, or...?
If this was D&D, it would be a small creature.
Okay.
Like
but
that.
Small enough to lift, yeah?
Yeah. And the legs go forming it into maybe a foot-by-foot cube if you want to pick it up.
Okay. That's still quite sizable to be...
Yeah, it's still quite sizable, and he weighs probably about 25, 30 pounds. You can
You can use
communicate
this to communicate.
via this to me.
Very well.
Okay, so it is an artifact.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I'm going to assign it a level. It is a level 3 artifact. Communication cube.
We have a lot of artifacts that let us communicate with people.
Do you?
Well, we have our walkie-talkies, or at least we had walkie-talkies. Someone took Easy's walkie-talkie away.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and he says, "Do this for me, Vers, and I will do what I can to help you."
First nods, because he has a head.
Very important.
I'm assuming, Chris, now that you're back, you've missed quite a bit of this. Okay, so once we were done here, I guess Artori just looks bewildered. Vers and EC, would you like to explain what happened?
You see, Artoria, when you say no to explosives, that's kind of like how this is. Just don't break your head over it.
Oh, okay, I will do some GM explaining. So, the cube turned out to be, well, friendly, and Vers approached, and it used some sort of tentacle to stab him in the forehead, and open his mind, and limitedly expanding it, so that he had knowledge that this cube came from your world a long time ago. And it was broken away when the moon crashed into your planet, which is weird, but it formed this ether, this kind of like special space, and it said that it looks after your planet, basically. And there are 9 gates on the planet that lead to this area, to the ether. But there are 2 within reach of you guys, but one of them is in the Golden Sanctum, where the convergence is. And it plans to use the gate as a weapon. Because if you reverse engineer it and you let the ether in, it can make an explosion 8 solar units wide. And that was basically what you guys realised. That's all it said.
That's
Also,
a very big explosive, or you don't want to set that off.
So what we're saying is convergence bad, kill convergence.
Yes, we are back to square one, or cube one, right? Not easy finger guns at the cube.
Giant cube thing.
Yes.
Sorry about the mess I made back. Like,
Easy's like signing, don't tell him, don't
Yeah,
tell him.
the Bronze Queen turns and says, "Destroyed several of our servants." And the All Cube says, "We'll make more." I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but security measures must be upheld.
no, we understand.
They were super nice to us. Really, it was our bad. No, it was kind of their bad. They did attack us.
EC has not managed to establish communication with your servants.
Well, we were talking just fine. They were just trying to bash my head in while we were doing it.
I broke a door as well. You might want to get that fixed too.
We will just deduct the door from what you're paying us.
And then there's like a stutter from the cube for the first time, and it says, "I already said I am not paying you for your services."
Well, we get the box of trash.
I do not think that is trash. And the Queen just looks down and goes, It's like a sad noise as she stares at her trash that she's obviously collected from humans over centuries. I thought that they were pretty, says the Queen.
They are, and you're also super pretty. I love what you have done with your lack of hair. I think it really works out for you.
There's no thanks. He just blinks and you hear the click of the shutter eyes.
I think I'm done here, Vers. I think this is more like your area of expertise.
Yes, you should leave.
Just point me to where you need to kill things.
I know the location.
So this convergence gate, right? Can't we just jump through it and kill the convergence, or do we have to like go there by foot? Because I traveled through like a jungle and I have blisters all over my feet right now. I would really like to not walk.
We have to kill that fucking Aeon priest.
Okay, Tori, I don't know how to break this to you. I don't think that was an Aeon priest.
I don't care.
I think she just stole the rope. That was obviously not fitting her. I didn't want to say anything at the time because she might have just gained weight, but obviously not her rope. I mean, I knew that because I stole one of the ropes and it fit me perfectly fine, and I'm really much smaller than her, so...
I still want to kill her.
Okay, I guess we'll do that first. It was great talking to you, Giant Cube. I'll write, like a letter.
We'll do what must be done to secure the gate.
He says, I thank you for your efforts. If you do not succeed, I fear that the convergence will hold sway over many political powers on your planet. I cannot let that be.
Can you not send like a giant robot army?
I cannot and will not send my creations forward to defend the planet. It is against the directive. However, I can employ the use of partial living creatures, like yourself.
Can you do anything to help us?
I already have. I've given Vers the knowledge and location of the Golden Sanctum.
Yeah, but I mean like bows, swords, armor.
We sort of already tried stealing their swords, didn't we?
The Bronze Queen looks up and says, "May I?" And the cube says, "Yes." And you see that her tentacles sliver out of her shoulder pads. He attaches to the cube and then walks over to one of the pillars. Like a black hole opens up in it. She disappears through. And the cube says, "Wait one moment."
Oh my god, if she brings me an AK-47, I'm going to worship this thing.
So have you always been a giant floating cube, or is this like a recent development?
We have always been cubes. Our creator made us that way.
I apologize for my companion's lack of perception.
It is no problem.
Because I think like nothing against cubes. I just think balls are more mainstream these
like
days.
Spheres.
Yeah, spheres. Obviously, you're rocking the cube look though.
I am, aren't I?
It is super fetch.
What about a giant cylinder?
Oh, I love cylinders.
Anyway,
Not as much as cubes.
he says cylinders were so 4th billion centuries.
Oh, he gets it. I told you we're besties now. He gets it.
Although the portal opens up again in one of the pillars and the Bronze Queen comes out and she holds in her hand a chest, like a container that's much larger than her but doesn't seem like she's having any trouble carrying it. And her legs make a kind of hissing sound as she walks forward and drops it on the ground. As she opens it, inside, there is crafted out, what looks like the same material the cube is made out of, fastened with plates of bronze and rivets, is a large curved blade. And on the ground next to that is a flat bow with 20 bolts made of like bronze, and you see they've all got cogs. It's a kind of like wind flat bow as well, so you can like you don't actually need much strength to pull the string back. And as you hold it, it's got a really nice trigger mechanism, and Arturo, you look for it and it's got a scope that when you flick something on the side, it zooms 2 times, then 4 times. And then the last but not least, there is a pole in there that's probably about only a foot long. And when you pick it up and press a button, it extends in either end to become a double-sided sword.
I love these people.
The Bronze Queen lets a slight bow of her head and says, "These were made by the Golden Queen. Have them.
Thank you.
I thought you're the Golden Queen.
I am the Bronze
He's
Queen."
Bronze Queen.
Is it like a chain? Is the golden one your superior?
No. The silver, bronze, gold, and platinum are all equal.
Do you have like an opening for a Flesh Queen? I think I could really rock that.
Oh, and simultaneously the cube says no as well. Like they just don't know.
If a vacancy opens up, just send me a letter.
But you are, and then the queen says, "But EC, you are always welcome here."
Oh, that is super nice.
Artoria's just going to test the blades.
Okay, so the sword itself, very, very kind of like balanced, and as you're striking, you hear something inside go off like a click, and then when you've done a strike, you realise that steam jets out the flat of the blade, making the blow go super fast. You've nearly taken off of your feet, and as it flies around, you do like a full 360 swirl, and then the blade bites deep into the ground, and then there's a clunk clunk as a cartridge is injected from the base of the hill. She says, "There are spares inside."
Thank you. I am going to keep this. What is this?
And I'm
Magic.
going to do some typing. 1 moment.
Yeah.
I like the jet powered moles and stuff. They're awesome.
Have you just given Artoria a world-ending weapon?
No, the gates are world-ending weapons. You missed that part. If we overcharge it, it literally wipes out like our galaxy, which we can't use to kill the convergence. Versus already told me he doesn't want that.
There you go. And then the names of them.
Yeah.
So the way that the steam-powered flat sniper works is it is for all intents and purposes, a crossbow with a double and quadruple range. The Extendo double blade is literally just a double-sided sword, long sword, and the steam-powered longsword is an artifact with a D10 depletion. Every time you attack with the longsword, it deals an extra 2 damage.
Mm.
It is a longsword though, not a great sword.
Yeah.
And every time you use it, you roll a d10, and on a 1, it loses its power.
What game are these from? I remember that they exist in some game, but I can't remember which one.
I have no clue, because I've made them up on the spot when Artoria was like, "Give me weapons."
Yeah, there's definitely some
What, you
steam
didn't
or jet
expect
powered
that?
hammer.
I did not! No! I don't know. If you remember, Arnie, let me know.
Yeah, will do.
Does the double blade have reach or something?
No, but it's just a double blade. It's and also the double blade. One moment. Let me look up the stats in the book. All right, so let's find not armor, not artifacts. It's not setting. Playing the game. Running the game. You know what? I can never find my way around this book. Especially when it comes to mundane stuff. I can always find the Numenera stuff, but never the mundane items and stuff.
Yeah.
Characters. Equipment. Chapter 7. Alright, yeah, so one thing that's good about the Extendo Double Blade Artoria is it counts as a light weapon.
Oh.
Yep, but inflicts 3 points of damage. So it would be very good for someone like EC to use as well, because you can use speed with it.
EC, take this.
EC immediately looks down the barrel.
Oh my god. Did you press the button?
No, she doesn't. She's not allowed to press buttons.
No, that's fair enough. So it is a light weapon that deals 3 points of damage.
Oh, that's really good.
Yep.
Because that's the only weapons I don't have an inability with.
Yep, and it's very, very good to carry, because it literally is just a foot-long pole until you press the button. Picture Darth Maul's lightsaber, but more steampunk.
Wait, are we on the sword right now? We're on the sword right now, right?
Yeah, no, the
That's-
Extendo double blade.
Okay, perfect. Double blade 3. I can now deal damage, guys.
The long sword does 4 damage, but an extra couple of damage when you attack, and depletes on a d10.
Yeah.
Also, she gave you 36 medium bolts.
I have 36 balls, that's nice.
No, it's...
Oh wait, you do. You have the sniper.
Yeah, so they're 4 damage each.
Mm-hmm.
The steam-powered flat sniper, does that mean it's extended range? What's its range?
Yep, so it's got double long range.
Ooh.
And you can spend an action to zoom in, or quadruple long range. So you can fire up to 400 feet with this thing if you extend the scope. What's the giggle for?
Nothing.
Uh-huh. You actually, now that I mention it, Artoria, you remember your one of your friends. I can't remember her name. The one that you first called with your glaive ability had something similar to this. Except hers was black powder enhanced and used to fire the head of the crossbow instead of the actual shaft.
This just means I can shoot first from 400 feet away.
Yeah.
Nice of you that you say burst. Let me see.
Okay.
But the problem is he always knows where I am.
So, All Cube, was great meeting you.
It was nice meeting you too.
It was all the fun.
Is there somewhere we can go and lie down for a bit? You know, do the convergence thing the next day?
I'm sure my servant here, the Bronze Queen nods, will let you out.
Thank you.
Is there any way with your spy glass that you can check where the woman that locked us in here has gone to?
I do not know of whom you speak.
Oh, she has one of... I pull out my Eon Priest robe and wiggle it around. She wears one of these, but it doesn't fit her.
That does not help.
Her name
Well-
is Vivian Grey.
I do not know who that is.
Just trying.
I'll tell you all about her the next time we're here.
I... ... Look forward to it.
You got any more questions for the giant floating cube verse?
I do not.
Okay, we are done here. It was great meeting you. When I guess we leave through the portal.
Alright, so the Bronze Queen shows you back into the temple. Alright.
In case you wanted for reference, it's actually TV tropes page for just rocket powered weapons.
TV tropes. Okay, so I'm assuming you guys are then, as you walk towards the entrance, the Bronze Queen steps through the metal railing, walks up to the wall, attaches her hands, means to climb like a spider. As she reaches above the door, it takes her maybe 10 minutes, but she fixes the mechanism that Vivian had broken with her buzzer. And the door slowly, surely, opens up, letting sunlight in. You've probably been here for like maybe 2 hours, so it's still kind of like late morning.
Alright.
Let's go kill that bitch.
Yeah, let's check her camp if she's there, and if she's there, we'll kill her, take her camp, and just have, you know, a day off.
Okay, so you guys walk back towards the outskirts of the island, and behind you, the Bronze Queen closes the door.
I wave to her.
She doesn't wave, but one of her tentacles does.
That's really creepy.
I want to use the scope to look at where the...
Alright, do you
Zip
have
line
any
what?
perception?
Or what now?
Okay, so can you make an intelligence check, difficulty 4? Also, you notice that the zip line's been cut from the other side.
Yeah.
It's now floating limply in the water. Okay, so getting used to the scope, aiming down, looking around the other side of the lake bed, lake shore. You just like can't see anything. No, can't see her anyway.
Probably ditched us.
Yes, probably wise too. Well, shall we try and find her, or shall we head to the gate?
I imagine if she's a member of the Convergence and the Convergence is at the gate, she'll be on the way to the gate anyway.
Yeah, but our
Right.
camp stuff's back there.
Well, we have the camp stuff, and rest because we're not catching up to her anyway, and then kill the Convergence.
Okay, you've got one problem.
The
There's
zip
no
line
way
is
of getting back across at the moment.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
Can't we tie a rope to the bolt and then shoot it over?
No, that doesn't work. How far a swim is it?
I think I mentioned it last week. It's about 100 feet. Get over there. Not that far, but you know. Yeah, it's just over 100 feet, maybe 150 at most. From your location, anyway.
Does it look to be a long way around?
No, it looks fairly equal all the way around. There might be an area that's like maybe 10 feet closer, an area that might be like...
Yeah, what I'm asking is, are we actually on an island?
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah.
We're on the
Okay.
ziggurat, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Right. The zip line is still attached to
Your side.
our side. Well, Artoria will pull the zip line rope in.
Mm-hmm. And as you do,
Sure.
you've got all that green slime from the surface of the lake.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
And it seems to catch on something, Altori. You're like, the hell? And as it sinks in, you're like, trying to pull. And you're like, ugh! And as you drag it up on your side of the lake, you bring up a body that's half naked. And you're like, oh, God. And you have to kind of put your foot on this body to then yank the rope away from it. It got caught in some rings around the person's neck, like golden bangles. And as you bring her up, you see that she's got short hair. It's kind of like red and spiked, just like Vivian Grey.
Ah.
And as you look around, you realise, oh, and you look down, this person was stripped all of her clothing except for her boots and her Aeon Priest bangles.
Oh shit, I wanted those bangles. I don't have those yet.
You can take them off her corpse.
Yeah. If you want, they're there.
I will pocket the second Aeon Priest robe once we get there.
Okay.
Do
Well,
you want these bangles?
They want what?
Do you want the bangles?
I do want the bangles.
We'll take them here. I'll take them off her neck and give them to DC.
Artoria, it looks like this woman's probably been dead for 2 days, you think?
I
She's-
don't.
Yeah, she's bloated enough to realise that whatever creatures live in there have taken some nibbles out of her and her body's all soaked and bloated.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just kick her back into the water after taking the bangles.
Yeah, there's a splash.
I put on the bangles and I put on the Aeon Priest robe.
Alright.
Right. Artoria will take off her armor. So she's just in like her light under armor.
Mm-hmm.
Shirt. Yeah, fuck it. She's not getting that wet. She'll like strip off. Backpack.
Easy commerce versus ice.
Tie the zip line like round her waist.
Yup.
And dive in and try and swim to the other side.
Alright, can you make a might roll? This is athletics or swimming or anything like that?
I have swimming.
Ooh, so difficulty free.
And I am going to... I'm trained in swimming.
Okay.
So, swimming... I'm going to put some effort in. No. Boom.
Oh shit! I was gonna give you a GM intrusion, but I think that just negates it. Okay, so as you're swimming, straight to the other side, Artoria, you feel something reach up to try to grab hold of you from underneath. Immediately turn, slice it, and then you hit as something just retreats away from you. You keep swimming, get to the other side. nearly molested, but climb up on the other side, stand up. You are soaked and covered in green, stringy algae.
Yeah. And I will tie the zip line in a way that they are coming downhill to like a tree or something nearby.
It's very difficult because you've only got about 8 foot's worth of leeway. Like, they'd have to try to pin it higher on their side.
Can I be the anchor myself?
You could. You want strength. I mean,
Yep.
Vers and EC aren't heavy, so it'll be quite low, but...
Yeah. Obviously, Vers has my bag and my armor and stuff.
Yep. Okay, so you can see from the other side, Vers and EC, that, you know, Artoria wants you to... What she's trying to convey is you need to be slightly higher.
Yes. Easy waves back.
I think I understand. I'm intelligent enough to get what the idea is. And,
So from your side, I'm assuming you're going to, like, pull the piton out and then...
yeah, try and find a higher place to anchor it in.
Okay, so you do a little bit of a climbing up the ziggurat. Like I said, it like got a bit of a smooth surface to start off with,
Yeah.
but then tears. And as you climb up, you can get maybe about 15 foot before I'm going to have to make you start making checks.
Is that enough to make the line?
You think so, because from the lake surface to here, it's about 20 feet. And you stand up and you see Artoria's holding
you
it.
need quite a bit of slack, because what happens normally is if you do a slack lining, you have 1 point here, 1 point here, you end up going, whee, and you're stuck there. So I want to judge if this is high enough or whether I need to get higher.
Alright, make an intellect roll. Difficulty 3. But you're trying to like work out the maths in your head. Yeah. Yeah, you could make that. You just need to climb an extra 15 feet.
Okay, I will ask EC to be ready to catch me in case I fall.
Alright, go ahead.
EC stands there really expectantly like this, even though she knows there's no way she can catch us.
Okay.
Difficulty.
3.
If it actually falls, I'm
It's might, I assume, right?
Yes it is. Yes it is, sir.
Oh,
Alright,
yeah.
so you find a handhold, you find a bit of loose brick, a little bit of rent metal that you managed to put both your feet on. Pull yourself up. You know, that kind of where you put your chest on the ledge first, then scramble up. You've got to get your foot up. You roll onto it like, oh, that was more tiring than you thought. And you find a space where you can like hammer the piton on, and you just begin bashing it in underneath one of the bricks.
Yep.
And
make sure that it's angled in the opposite direction of where the load will be, etc.
It's so high as well that it has to. It kind of like gets pulled taut by the edge of the ledge, where like the brick is, and angles straight towards Artoria, who's holding it on the other side.
Okay. I'll just hold my thumbs up.
All right.
Can you zip line across them?
With Vers having no idea how a zipline thing works and not trusting in his strength to hold on, I think what he's going to do is just put your backpack over the zipline and then put one hand through on either side so that he's just like stuck in the backpack.
Alright, so you're going to slide along, Vers?
Yep.
Okay, so as you begin sliding along, makes a scraping sound. GM intrusion!
We didn't get any XP yet this session, Anna.
Yeah, sure, let's have it.
Nice. And as you begin sliding along, Artoria and EC see it, but Vers does not. Something is slithering out of the water in all directions. Undulating, oil slick tentacles with small hooks on the end. And at that moment, it reaches up, and in front of you, Vers, you see the tentacles grab hold of the zip line, pull it slack, and you go to the point where your bum just begins scraping the algae water and sending up water either side. Can we all roll initiative?
Well.
Oh yeah, you also get an experience, so you can give an experience to someone.
Yes, I'll give it to Artoria since
Alright.
she's helping me try and get across this lake, and we'll probably have to come and save me now.
She's also carrying our asses. So.
Yeah, and currently Artoria is holding yeah,
Yep.
other end as well.
It's not good.
Alright, so Artoria is Vers on initiative. Way.
Yeah. Can you move me to a map, or do we have?
There
a map?
is no map, and this is going to be
Okay.
Theatre of the Mind because I made it up on the spot.
Okay.
To be fair, there could be a map. I could literally draw it, like on the water where we are.
Yeah, I'm not on the water. I'm still with the Bronze Queen.
Yeah, I know. That's. I'll drag EC out.
All right, this is the water. Okay, yeah. Fair.
Yeah. So you're kind of like maybe there at the moment. Let's get like a zip line going. Like, wee. There you go. Let's put you there. Yeah, and Artoria, we'll say that's land there, just the edge of like a bit of shore. And Vers, you see it coming, you're like, oh shit. The thing I will say is,
I think EC forgot her token.
like there.
Oh, I'm still on the previous map.
Are you?
Yeah, so are we.
No,
Yeah, but
you're
I
on
rolled
Cyprus.
initiative.
I mean, it's the same map.
No, I rolled initiative earlier.
When you
and it
put
didn't-
someone over personally, how do you get rid of that?
What do you mean?
I put EC over by herself, and now the portrait won't go.
Oh, just grab the little icon and drag it back into the player's banner.
Ah, so simple. Yet I did not know.
I was still on the cube map. That's why.
Ah,
You can't drag it.
you can.
It just slides along the top.
I mean, I don't have to be in this combat encounter. I mean, it's generally.
Oh, you definitely can. You like when you go to it, you can.
I am currently on the dungeon map. Again.
Yeah,
Okay.
you are there. It's just I can't seem to get rid of your icon. We'll do it later.
I'll
Anyway,
edit it in post.
so Vers, it's definitely your turn.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Can I? Would I be holding my staff, or is that somewhere strapped to a
That's
backpack?
strapped to your back. You're kind of holding onto the backpack, right?
Well, just keep sliding as best I can to get there.
Okay, so just gonna slide for the. Keep going.
Yeah, and if needed, do like a little cheeses run on the water.
Alright, so as you do,
Oh,
like I
yeah,
said,
it's
you've already
fine.
kind of hit the water, so I'm gonna need a speed roll, difficulty 5, if you want to keep moving.
Yep. I'm going to expend some effort. This is 3, you said?
Difficulty 5.
Oh, 5, sorry.
You can knock it down to 4.
Yeah, it will still be 5 for me since I have I get advantage on everything when I take my time, but when I get GM intrusion, I have disadvantage on everything.
Yeah, this is kind of in your face, like, instant. It's happening in the moment. See, Artoria might have been the one, but no. You had to get a nat 20.
Nope.
So what happens here is, as you begin doing the whole, running on water thing, the tentacles let go and fling you kind of back up as you're holding onto the backpack. Right, and now I need a mic check to see if you hold on difficulty 5 again. Because you are going to go flying into the water.
No, my token isn't on the map yet now.
Isn't it? It should be there.
No. Fine.
Nope. Almost.
Not for me, I can't see anything.
I'm...
I can move my token, I just don't have light sources.
Alright, cool. There you go, done.
Ah, there we go.
Alright, so... Oh, you were so close as well.
I know.
So you go hurtling up into the air, let go of the backpack, and just splash in the water somewhere over.
Yeah, I'll try and at least in midair, like fling the backpack over to Artoria as I'm.
Alright, the backpack lands about halfway between both you and him. What was in the backpack?
My shit.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord.
You know those weapons you were describing earlier? They're gone.
Oh, no. Yeah, well, they're floating at the moment, but you can see it slowly sinking. Alright, so... Artoria, it's your go.
Yeah, whereabouts are my weapons?
Here.
So fuck the zip line straight to my weapons.
Alright, you dive in. I'm going to let you swim at half speed, which is enough, I think. You're still going to get there, aren't you? 25.
I have, even with proficiency in swimming,
Yep.
trained in swimming, half speed.
Yep, perfect. You managed to get to the sack before it begins to sink.
And I will do the 100 feet move to try and get back to the shore.
Yep. So,
So I
yeah.
have to make a speed roll.
Yes, it's only difficulty 2. which is what you rolled, luckily. Yeah, so you've managed to get back. You're out of breath, adrenaline coursing through your veins.
And that's my turn.
Right, its turn. Yeah, Vers, as you splash into the water, you feel these slimy, oil slick tentacles wrap around your legs, begin to try to drag you under. Alright, can you make a swimming roll?
What would that be?
It would be might, and if you've got anything like athletics or anything like that, it adds to it.
Nah.
Wow,
Difficulty?
someone could be drowning.
What difficulty is it?
Difficulty 5. Holy crap! You just swim, and you're like, no, and you kick away the tentacles, and they fail to drag you under. However, you do... No, you don't, because you passed. Never mind. EC.
I cheer for Verse. Go Verse.
Wow, your friend's drowning. Fair enough.
I don't think this is a problem that can be solved by public speaking or skating, so...
Skating across the top of the zipline would have been awesome.
Well, I think Artoria isn't holding it anymore, is she?
No, she dropped it.
See, can't do that. That was what I was thinking of, but no Tony Hawk today. I had my turn.
Alright, so Vers, it's your turn.
Yeah, just swim like hell.
Alright, swim like hell. Make me a might check. Alright, so you get the initial 10 feet when you're swimming. The algae's dragging you down. It's like really heavy upon your shoulders as you're swimming. You can move the rest of I think it's another 15 feet if you want. But then that'll be your full turn.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. So so that's as far as you get. Artoria.
I am going to take the crossbow out and shoot at the tentacles.
Alright. It's a speed roll by a ranged weapon.
Yeah, I'm not good at those.
But it helps.
Difficulty?
5.
No, that's...
Alright, so the arrow goes and just sinks into the you hear a hollow splash. Then the bolt just sinks into the murky depths. Alright, Artoria, is that your turn?
Move 10 feet over here.
Okay, just so you know, with this type of crank flatbow, you can actually reload in the same round. Just place it in. Yeah, it literally is just one full circle to reload, and then you just place the bolt in.
Happy days. I'll reload while I'm moving.
All right, the thing. Right, can Vers so Vers, you need to make a might check. However, Artoria, you need to make a speed check.
Difficulty 5, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's difficulty 5. You are dodging Artoria on the land. However, Vers is just trying to swim. Oh, that's why it's so much. Alright, so you manage to, as one of the tentacles shoots out with its hooked barbs, you just duck out the way, and it slaps kind of limp against the earth, and then just slides back into the water. However, Vers, one of the hooks digs into your flesh near the back of your thigh, begins dragging you under, and you take 5 damage to your might pool.
Okay, so 4 to my might and 1 to my speed because I'm out of might.
I think I would actually like to act this time.
Okay, so it is EC's turn.
I would like to pull in the zipline
Yep.
and tie the end of the zipline around my magic fire egg.
Yep.
And I would like to click the thing, swing the egg, and throw it to the mass of fish.
I like it. It's good. But I'm going to GM intrusion you. Would you like to accept it or not?
No, I really like my fire egg.
Ah, okay, yeah. So you just spin, and as you're lassoing it, it's just creating a ring of red as it spins round, and then you just hurl it, And you know I'm going to need... It's because it was out of range, it's going to be a higher difficulty too. So, difficulty 6.
Difficulty 6. I'm sadly not trained in egg throwing. And it's might, and I can't edge in might.
No, you can use speed for this.
Or can I? I can also not edge in, Oh wait, no, I can. I can.
Yeah, I'd
edge
argue that
everywhere.
it's like kind of agility based.
Yeah, I still have all my speed, so I'm gonna actually spend 5 speed to
Ooh.
spend 2 effort. Otherwise, there's no way I'm making this. Aw, fuck me.
And the egg kind of like sizzles across the surface of the algae and then splashes in, begins to sink, and you just see the water around it begin to boil.
I guess I'll just pull it out next turn and try again. That's
Alright.
my turn.
Buzz, you are not grappled as such, but the barb is definitely in you.
Yeah, so I'll try and just shoot my staff at it,
Alright, cool.
and then try and swim away if I succeed.
Exactly what you needed.
Good.
And you did 4 damage.
3.
Great. And you'll see, like, especially Artorio sees this limp tentacle sliding away, sees it like writhe in agony, and Verz, the one attached to you, tears out of your flesh, leaving a trail of blood. And then I'm assuming you're going to swim.
Yep.
Alright, so 10 feet.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'll make it up.
splash, splash, splash as you try to get towards Artorio. You can see land. Verz, it's so close that even now you're starting to stand up because it's up to your waist.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get through. Artoria?
I'm gonna move to Verge and pull him onto the land.
Alright, that's fine. It will take your action to do that.
That's fine.
You can drag him up to like 15 feet.
Yeah, so we're like as far onto the land as we can get.
Yep, okay, so yeah, fair enough. And easy, you see that your allies have made it to the shore.
I, pull back my magic fire egg.
It kind of like... And luckily, that Lotus paste is still on, because it lasts 28 hours.
And I press my button.
So you press the button. I was going to say to you, and then I realised you put the paste on the day before, nearly in the evening, so technically it's still on.
Oh, fuck, that's fantastic. In that fucking case, I'm just gonna press the button on the egg and swim through with a giant fire aura around me.
Yeah, okay, so it's a bit difficult. I need you to make a might check, just a general check to see if it...
What was the difficulty?
It was... no, to swim in the water without being harassed, it's difficulty 3.
Okay, let's hope, because I don't have much. Well, we're gonna rest after this. I'm gonna edge in my just to make sure.
Okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Okay, so you begin swimming. It's difficult. And the egg, having it in one hand as well, is a bit difficult. And as you begin getting halfway through, you feel and see shadows below you, and you go, oh god. And as you see, the rest of you can see as well, this creature is a lot larger than you originally anticipated. And it seems to cover up maybe a 30-foot by 30-foot shadow beneath EC. And EC, you feel like a sucking sensation. Let's just say, like a maw opening up beneath you. It doesn't meow, but...
Oh, that's fantastic. Are we still in initiative?
It depends if anyone else wants to act.
Let me just read something quickly.
Okay, because we'll go to Verz.
I will try and shoot at it.
Okay, go ahead.
I've difficulty 4 success. I think that's not enough.
No, difficulty 5 to attack this thing.
Yep.
Okay, so just at that moment, you think you got it, but it doesn't stop coming for your friend. Victoria.
I'm going to spend an experience. Call in an old friend.
Oh, shit! Give me a second. Give me a second. I need to look this up.
In comes the sniper.
No.
I find it fascinating that of all of Satoria is the one with the most friends.
Yeah.
That's good because my next option was just to try to talk the thing down, and I feel like that would not have worked.
Alright, so at that moment, as you call in an old friend, well, you don't really, do you? You just kind of like, it just happens. Something comes shining. Something just glimmers in the sunlight above the broken canopy around the lake. And it goes, and it's like the sound of metal being thrown. And as it strikes right next to you, EC, hitting the water, it seems to have just hit the water solid, and around you, ice begins to spread out. And that's when somebody leaps from the tree line above you, lands on the ice next to you, with the sword, looks down towards you, and what you see is a woman, tall, breastplate, iron shoulder pads, icy white hair. She picks you up out of the ice, and then kicks away from the water, and the ice just seems to slide across the lake top away. And as these tentacles comes up, she just attacks each one, slicing them off. And as she reaches the other end, she throws you to one side, spits to the ground, turns towards Artoria. Sister.
Nice to meet you. How are you, Sapphire?
Well, I'm good now. And she just looks back at these tentacles. She goes, we should get back.
Yeah.
I pressed the button on my fire axe so they don't burn.
Yeah, I was about to... That was my next question. Because I think Sapphire would be okay. Like, she'd be able to resist it a little bit, but you do. And she turns to the rest of you, and this woman seems kind of just like Artoria, except they've got, like, maybe different coloured hair. They both have the same brawny build, the same height. And she just kind of stares at you all icy cold.
I didn't think they mass-produced you.
No, this is one of my sisters. She's my older sister.
I see. Impressive specimen.
I said that earlier. You're learning verse. Well done, you.
Atora has told us everything about you. She always talks you up. And I
Grabs the frozen blade and breaks it away from the water. Like she goes... And as she spins it and slides it onto her back, it goes full Cloud Strife, like it's magnetically attached to her shoulder pads. And she just leaves it. And you see, like, crystals of ice drop off of her gauntlets. She shakes them off.
Atora and I are actually best friends.
But we're not. But we have a camp up here. Follow me.
She laughs, leans into EC and goes, she doesn't have friends.
No, I think her and Verse totally do fuck.
What? Yeah, your sister looks around and goes, what?
Well,
No.
neither of them wants to share a tent with me, so I always assume.
No, I go for my usual choice. You know, a noble, high-ranking, attractive military man.
She kind of gives that knowing nod and says, and are you engaged with a noble military man right now?
I am, actually. I'll tell you about it later. We'll have a drink when the
Well, I received your letter
non-combatants.
and was only a few miles away when I got it. In fact, I was visiting Paradise 8.
Oh, wonderful. Who are you visiting?
None of your business. But you should point me in the direction of this nobleman so I can steal him from you.
You can try, bitch.
Well, that's the challenge, isn't it, sister?
That's a nice family reunion. Shall we move out of here while that thing is still incapacitated?
Yeah, and you see that there's like slops of tentacles still floating in water. She goes, that thing, I've slept with worse.
Yeah, let's go back to our camp.
She nods, and you guys head back to the little camp that you first met, Vivian Grey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so as you approach it, she begins looking around. Sapphire walks over to one side, sees that the fire's still alight, and there's still some fish. She just, without preamble, just begins eating some of the stew.
Yes.
Stands, and as she stands, you guys notice there's something very like off and odd about her. The way that whenever she walks, she leaves like a slight mist behind.
Expected to have some fuckery when it comes to Artoria's family. I don't want to mess with that.
She says, "I've met the Baron, the
Yeah.
one only a few hours
Wiggly eye.
ago. Well, I followed your tracks here.
Yeah, I can't really travel my usual way when I have...
I gotta
That's right.
ask, did you guys get get trapped by those statues.
Oh yeah, that
Ah,
straight away got me.
that was fun, wasn't it?
It was. I was about to jump in the pit. It was so funny, and then they were like, "No, don't jump in the pit."
I ran. I just ran straight through. Fuck them.
I tried to fight them.
Ha! That sounds like you, sister.
Yeah.
Trying to bulldoze your way through everything.
Well, it's worked so far.
I would suggest we go round it now.
Yes, definitely.
Now that I know it's there, of course.
We'll rest here for the day, and then we'll pack up and move back to the main camp.
Yes, you rest.
Thanks.
She just stares blankly into the forest, and she seems to, as you guys are spending the hours resting here, she walks the perimeter every 15 minutes, on the 15 minutes, without fail.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you spend a long time, she doesn't even rest or sleep.
I'll eventually get my my cube out and just look at it for a while. Then, after being satisfied looking at a cube for an absurd amount of time, I'll get out my synth box and spend the rest of the time looking at that.
Okay, nice. Yep.
And then, once it's time for sleep, I'll sleep.
Alright, so you guys can actually get like a full rest here if you want. At this
Yeah.
camp. If that's your plan.
Definitely.
Alright, so Sapphire spends the entire night guarding you guys. Doesn't sleep. Just stays awake.
Full rest is complete recovery, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's good, because I have, like, nothing left.
Anyway, and the next morning comes by. She comes back with she goes off hunting. She comes back with a frozen chunk of meat. She puts it down, and she's got a claw mark across her face. She just wipes it and begins treating it. She was gone for maybe 2 hours in the morning.
Let me see that, Sister Artoria will just sort of grab her by the chin and turn her face.
It's nothing. You see, I didn't really feel like hunting myself. So I just waited for a creature to come along, kill this, then I killed it.
It's a good plan, but let me just check it's not infected.
It's not infected.
Well, you never know around here. These people are barbaric.
Go ahead.
That Artoria will just sort of look at it and then pull the whiskey out of her pocket and pour it straight on it.
No, she goes to grab your hand and she goes, first, and then she takes it and drinks a swig. Now go. And
You ready for this?
And as she gives it back to you, the drink is ice cold.
Oh yeah, I'm well aware.
Yep. Go ahead, go on.
Pour the whiskey on her.
Ah. She seems to lick some off of her cheek as it falls near her lips.
Take a swig.
Mhm.
And give it back to her.
Thanks. Takes more swig of it, and then the frozen meat begins to fall as she picks it near the fire. It's like a chunk of a leg of something. It's got a little bit of fur attached to it still. She says there's more back that way, maybe 45 minutes.
That's alright. We'll have a light meal and pack up and move back to the main camp.
Deal. She begins skewering parts of the flesh and cooking it. And a hearty breakfast is had.
Alright.
And then we'll pack up camp and start heading back.
Alrighty, so you begin travelling back the way you came. So I'm assuming you're going up the elevator towards the temples where you found the egg. And as you reach the top there, it's morning. There are insects buzzing around. There's that waterfall bridge that you have to walk across. One moment, I can...
Easy is just laying in on Sapphire the whole way through. So if she's gonna get married, we'll have to decide on what color to wear our bridesmaids' dresses in. I'm personally thinking purple because I'm a huge fan of purple, but I don't know if Artoria...
Easy. My sister isn't as patient as I am. Probably best to just leave her alone.
He leans into EC and in an intimidating voice says, "We're wearing white."
Isn't that what the bride wears?
I don't care.
I mean, I look fantastic in white. I once wore this white dress.
Easy, we call her the Ice Queen for a reason.
I mean, she is very cool. I get the name.
And you begin walking down through the bones.
Just stay out of her way, Easy. Don't make eye contact. Don't talk to her. Don't.
Okay, Easy walks up to first. So apparently,
Sapphire has decided we're gonna wear white for our bridesmaid dresses first. I don't know what your size is.
First, just start picking up the pace a little bit to get away.
Okay, so as you begin walking this way, in the distance you can see that plateau up the crumbling stone steps where the statues are. She says, "This way," and just walks around, following the ravine. Remember, if there was part of it that tried to make you drop from the ravine, and at the bottom of that ravine is a small stream, and you begin splashing up that way, with Sapphire leading the charge, freezing the surface of the water as she walks through it. And when she reaches the far side, she helps you all back up onto one of the banks, stands there, and begins following the really kind of like overgrown path here. And eventually, you guys come to something you recognise after about maybe 3 hours of travel. It's the crater where you originally found the spider.
Alright. Nice.
I killed a big mechanical monkey here. I threw my sword at it.
Sounds like you had a fun time.
I did.
And as you walk round, you can actually see it. The body is still there.
See, there it is.
She kind of walks over, puts a boot to it, begins moving around, reaches in, and begins pulling stuff out of it and then putting it in a satchel. As you seems you have missed some shins here. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, help yourself. I was never the brightest crayon in but.
Eventually, she pulls some sort of box with a tube attached to it out, blows into it, puts it in a satchel.
Alright.
Do you want me to just carry it back for you? That'd be easier.
Oh no, I've got what I've come for. It's fine.
Alright. No problem.
Right, and
Kick the monkey as I walk past.
you put the boot into the mechanical gorilla as you walk past, and it's maybe another half day's journey before you reach the outskirts of the Westwood. And in the distance, you can see the smoke fires of the camp, and you also start to hear the murmuring, of the lumberjacks and the labourers. And you see the familiar pavilions rising up out of the grass in the fields, and the great bonfire in the centre. And you can see that the Baron's daughter is outside her tent doing her usual. Hera, outside her indigo and pink giant tent, she's got like her table of oddities and stuff and equipment. She seems to be packing them away. And she shouts, "I see you found them then!" And Sapphire just does the whole wave, walks straight past her towards the campfire.
Well, I'm going to go and start setting up camp.
And as you guys walk past, the Baron goes, "Hey, you're back. How was it with Vivian?"
She's super dead.
He blinks just once, then twice, and goes, "Wait, what?"
Okay, so hold your horses here. We went to the camp.
I'll just leave and I'll go and help Artoria set up the tents.
Yeah, he goes, "Oh, come on. What happened to her?"
We went to the camp, and then there was she, big, muscular, naked, and she talked with us, and she was like, "I need help getting into this thing," and so we ate at, I think, a giant boar together with her, and the next day we went into the giant thing. We needed 3 people to open it. We opened it. She stayed outside, and then she was like, "Haha, got you. I am not actually Vivian. I am a member of the Conversions," and then she locked us in. Then we fought robots, one of which was all buddy-buddy with me. Met a giant floating cube, got out of there, and found the dead husk of the real Vivian.
He goes, "Jeez, bloody hell, what the hell? This all seems rather irregular. What in the hell happened? I know you've tried to explain it, EC, but you say Vivian's dead?"
Oh yeah, super dead, like for days.
And he looks towards the Aeon priest's tent and goes, "Oh, by the Lord above, this is not gonna go well."
And Easy is like showing her ropes. Look.
"What the hell? You need to take them off before Vexus comes out." Oh, he kind of tries to grab you on the shoulders and lead you into his tent. And that's when the Aeon priest tent opens, he yawns, stretches, sees you all returned, and begins moving towards the tent. He's, "Get in!"
Easy gets it.
And then he closes the flap with the back, and holds it from behind his back. And he just goes, "You get changed in there now. You see, if he sees you wearing those robes with those bangles, a man will just, I don't know, shit a brick.
Well, Easy takes off all of that and puts on the party dress, as you would.
Mm-hmm. And that's when the priest comes over and goes, I hear they are back. Did they achieve the goal?
And Easy comes out. She is super dead.
He kind of looks back at you and goes, oh lord. Affects his size narrow. His brow becomes one bridge of furry eyebrows as he just stares at you.
Oh yeah, the convergence got to her before we did, and they murdered her.
And for the first time, EC, you see something on Fex's face that you haven't seen before. Sorrow. And
I give him a big hug.
He takes one step away, and as you go to hug him, he just pushes you back. His hands are shaking. One tear runs from the corner of his eyes, and he falls down to one knee and begins to sob into his hands.
Oh, I do the thing where you don't really know someone, but they're really sad, you don't know what to do, where you slightly hover your hand around their backs and sometimes give a pat, but not always.
Yeah, the Baron leans in, whispers to you, and goes, They were together.
I'm really sorry about this. We are gonna kill the person that killed her, if that is any reconciliation.
It is not! Shouts Spexus as he stands, rushing back to his tent. The Baron just kind of puts one hand to his brow and begins to massage the bridge of his nose. This will not do.
Good news, we know where the convergent is, and we're gonna go there and kill them.
His eyes go wide. You know the location of the sanctum?
First does.
And then a smile creeps across his face. Well, revenge will be forthcoming.
Oh yeah, we will bring Artoria and then just throw Artoria at them, and then presumably they will all die.
And that's when in the distance, you see Artoria verse. You see a trail of people arriving just at that moment. And Sapphire stands, looks behind and goes, finally! As she begins moving towards the trail of people.
I know who it is. I'm going to start heading over as well.
Okay. And Verse, what are you doing? Because he's been causing trouble already. Just for this last bit of the session.
Yep, I'm just going to stay as far away from EC as I possibly can, because I really don't want to hear that whole story again.
Yeah, at that moment, after you've seen it all happen, Verse, you do see the Aeon Priest Vexus step out of the tent with a backpack on and staff in hand and begin moving towards the westward.
By himself?
Yep.
I'll try and see if I can catch him. I'm not going to try super hard if he's, like, running for it, but...
Okay. And, yeah, he's not running for it, but he's storming that way. Quite fast.
I'll catch up with him and say, as we're walking alongside him, and see, I get what you're feeling right now, but I don't think what you're doing right now is going to achieve what you wanted to.
He's silent as he stares back at you. I know the wisdom of what you say, but it doesn't mean I'm going to listen.
That is up to you. If you wish to throw away your life, go ahead. But we've already agreed that we will try and see if we can find the convergence and make sure that they will not enact this fate on anyone else.
You do what you need to do, and I will do what I need to do.
Very well.
And then there's that kind of awkward silence, just like there is right now between me and you. And then he steps back, turns around, 180, and just heads into westward.
Okay.
There's a brief kind of like moment, and then you see a flash inside as he lights up from his staff. The liquid water running through it, now basically a giant glow stick.
Yep.
And,
I'm just going to let him do his thing. If he wants to go and do his thing, he gets to go and do his thing.
Yep. And that's when, Artoria, you run up to the trail of people. And the first person you see is a woman dressed in a fancy breastplate with all of the trimmings. She has a long red cloak just to match her red hair, fiery. And that's when she then turns around to the trail behind her and all of the doors open to the carriages, and all of your sisters step out, all carrying various sets of weapons, all just kind of stretching, all dressed in armor. And Sapphire looks towards you, Artoria, and says, "We'd better be getting paid for this."
Oh yeah, shit's about to get real.
They nod. You see them all drawing weapons, all various sorts, gleaming in the setting sun. And they all just pile around you, and they all give the usual family kind of like shoulder-to-shoulder group hug after meeting for so long. Sapphire says, "Now let's hope it doesn't end up the way it did last time we all met up."
We'll try not to, rape and pillage the local town this time, sister.
Sarah, with the red head, looks at you and goes, "Speak for yourself," as she heads straight towards the lumberjacks surrounding them. And that's where we'll end today's session.
Nice.
Make sure you send me that file so that we can get all of them down.
Did you see the screenshot I sent you?
Yes, that's why I used it. Screenshot. It works perfectly.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the format it'll be in.
You all get 1 experience for this session. 1.
One experience.
Right, and we will pick this up next Monday.